I love a sandwich. Lots of different kinds of sandwiches. I like how they can be simple and straightforward, like a ham and cheese or peanut butter and jelly, but also I like how you can pretty much take any meal that you like and make it into a sandwich, like a chicken parm or like a meatball sub. Today, I am feeling just a little bit of a simple kind of thing. I want a BLT, but I wanted to make it kind of fancy because treat yourself, right? We'll get to it. I've thought about this a lot, obviously, and to bring it kind of up to another standard, a lot of people put avocado on their BLTs, but I'm not about it. So I thought, what else do people put on their BLTs? And that's cheese. And I am about the cheese. What kind of cheese could I use? I want it to be delicious, but not overpower it. And I thought burrata, obviously. And that will just kind of kick things up a notch for me. But I'm hungry, so let's get started. I gotta start with the bread. I have just a ciabatta roll here. Since I am roasting my tomatoes, I am already using the oven. So before the tomatoes go in, I'm going to cut this in half, olive oil, salt and pepper, and I'm going to pop it in the oven just to toast it ever so slightly. You don't want it too toasted because then it'll be too hard and then it'll rip up your mouth. Hard bread just isn't the answer. While that bread is going, I'm going to just kind of slice up my tomato. I've got one Roma tomato here that I'm just going to slice in some semi-thick slices. You can really just do what you want. But once that bread is out, I'm going to throw these in the oven. It's preheating to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm just going to, again, olive oil, salt and pepper, and I'm just gonna put these in for maybe 15-20 minutes or until they get to like the doneness that I like. Another very important part to this sandwich is the bacon. I cooked this a little earlier with my tried and true oven method. All I have to do is preheat my oven to 375, but from 0 degrees, cold oven, lay the bacon on a sheet tray on some tin foil, put it into a cold oven, then preheat and cook at 375. And I just flip a couple of times. Takes like maybe 20-25 minutes and it is perfect every time. And it's not much of a mess. Lettuce. You have to have lettuce on a BLT. So instead of going for like a romaine or an iceberg, I am going for butter lettuce, or some people call it bib or Boston lettuce. It's just so soft and delicious, and it's, I don't know, it just like, it's a treat. So I have a few leaves here that I just kind of ripped off of a head, and it's just perfect. There's not much crunch to it, it's just velvety. Another element to the BLT is the mayo. What I did was kind of just make my own kind of concoction. I just made this the other day, and what I did was just put some mayonnaise in a bowl. I grated a garlic clove in here, then I added some lemon juice, lemon zest, salt and pepper, mix it up, and it makes the most delicious spread you will ever eat. It adds a lot to this sandwich. It brightens it up. It's delicious. So I'm definitely gonna be using this. It is barely toasted. It's kind of crunchy, but not too bad. And it's still soft, but it's still got a little bit of that to it. So I'm going to remove these, set them aside, and then I'm gonna throw the tomatoes on here and then roast those. The burrata, I'm going to wait until the last minute to slice up because it's very soft and I don't want it to warm up too much. I have all my bits done except for the tomatoes. Once those pop out, I can then just slap it together and feast. I've got these tomatoes right where I want them, roasted. Now for the burrata. Burrata is such a delicious little treat of a cheese. Looks like a mozzarella ball, right? But it's like squishy. It's got a very soft, creamy cheese inside. So I dig it. I'm just gonna slice this up. Now we can assemble. Gets a good dollop. Spread this out a bit, a little on the top too. Lettuce on the bottom here. It's good to leave it in the fridge until last minute because when this warms up even a little bit, it gets very difficult to maneuver because of it's so loose inside. I'm gonna salt and pepper this. I'm gonna put the tomatoes. These are also pretty delicate. Unless you cut them quite thick, they're gonna be quite soft. Handle with care. And last thing, the bacon. Top it off, and you've got a beautiful, delicious, slightly elevated BLT. I'm gonna have to unhinge my jaw to eat this thing, but I will do it for the right food. I end up cutting it in half, which was a massacre on its own, but the tomatoes were sliding everywhere, the cheese was going everywhere, but it's beautiful. And messy food is delicious. You know this is gonna be good. Look at this. Ooh, it's dripping. But look at that. Wow. So good. It's definitely a mess, but it's so delicious. It's perfect. You can obviously play around with it, add some stuff, take away some stuff, but you don't need to with this. This combination is perfect. The flavors go so well together. That aioli in there is so good. The lemon really brings out a lot of its flavor of the other ingredients, and this cheese is so good. The tomatoes are perfect when they're roasted. You gotta make it. How can you not? Look at this thing. I'm a mess. Enjoy.